Assyria, an ancient civilization in northern Mesopotamia, formed one of the greatest empires of the ancient world. This empire is known for its violence, conquests, and military power under rulers such as Ashurbanipal. In this video, we will trace a brief history from the emergence of the city of Ashur to the collapse of the empire and its fate after dissolution up to the Sasanian era. Stay with me. Ashur, an ancient and powerful city in Mesopotamia, is recognized as the center of the great Assyrian Empire. Located in modern-day northern Iraq, this city played a key role in the history of ancient civilizations of the Middle East. To better understand the city and the civilization of Ashur, we must examine three fundamental questions. Was Ashur always a great empire? Who were the inhabitants of this ancient city? At whose hands did Ashur fall, and how long did its name endure? So, stay with me until the end of the video as we explore these three questions and gain a deeper understanding of the city, civilization, or empire of Ashur. The city of Ashur was not initially a powerful and world-changing center but rather a small city influenced by regional powers such as the Akkadian Empire, the third dynasty of Ur, and the Sumerian civilization. Ancient tablets discovered at the Ashur site show that its inhabitants were once subjects of the Akkadian kings. This period in Ashur's history is known as the early Assyrian period. During this time, not only Ashur but also Babylon was considered a small city and had not yet emerged as the capital of an empire in southern Mesopotamia. With the fall of the third dynasty of Ur and the Sumerian civilization to the Elamites, an opportunity for independence arose. This historical transformation allowed cities like Ashur and Babylon to gain independence and play a more significant role on the regional political stage. From 2025 to 1364 BCE, Ashur began as a small but independent city-state and gradually expanded its power. This period, known as the Old Assyrian period, marks when Ashur had not yet become a mighty empire but had begun to assume a new role in the Mesopotamian region. The city of Ashur was located on the western bank of the Tigris River near two other cities, Kalhu and Dersharukin. Its geographical position along the Tigris, especially during the Old Assyrian period, made it a prominent trading center between Mesopotamia and Anatolia. This insight is derived from the so-called cuneiform tablets of Karun. Ashur's location on the western bank of the Tigris facilitated trade with various regions, including Babylon in southern Mesopotamia, modern-day Iraq, Elam in southern Iran, the eastern neighbor of Mesopotamia, and even Anatolia. This strategic position enabled goods to be transported from these areas to Anatolia, allowing Ashur to emerge as a major trading hub. Around 1363 to 911 BCE, a period known as the Middle Assyrian period, Ashur transitioned from a small city-state into a burgeoning regional power. This era began with the relative decline and weakness of Ashur at the end of the Old Assyrian period, when Ashur was under the influence of greater powers like Mitanni. During this period, Ashur was not yet a vast empire but an independent city-state striving to regain its autonomy and expand its territory. In the early Middle Assyrian period, Ashur was influenced by major powers such as Mitanni, but with the weakening of Mitanni and the growing influence of Egypt and the Hittites in the region, Ashur found an opportunity to elevate its status. The transformations of the Middle Assyrian period began under kings like Ashurbanipal, who freed Ashur from Mitanni's dominance and laid the foundations for its future power. Ashurbanipal was the first king of Ashur to transform it into a regional power after years of dependency on larger powers. Following Ashurbanipal, kings like Adad-nirari, Shalmaneser, and Tukulti-Ninurta continued expanding and strengthening Ashur's territory. Notably, Tukulti-Ninurta conquered Babylon and brought Ashur to the height of its power. This period marked the beginning of the strengthening of the city of Ashur and its transformation into a mighty empire, extending its control over northern Mesopotamia and even dominating Babylon in southern Mesopotamia. The years 911 to 609 BCE, known as the Neo-Assyrian period, represent the peak of power and splendor of the Assyrian civilization in history. During this period, Ashur transformed from a regional power into a vast, global empire, emerging as a military and political superpower. Utilizing its highly organized and powerful army, it brought large swathes of the Near East under its control, encompassing areas of Mesopotamia, Anatolia, western Iran, northern Arabia, Syria, Lebanon, and Palestine. Now it is time to address this question: who were the inhabitants of this ancient city? What language did they speak, and how did their language evolve? Southern Mesopotamia, situated between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, was an ideal location for human settlement due to its fertile soil and favorable agricultural conditions. The Sumerians settled in this region around 4000 BCE and are considered the founders of urban civilization. They invented the world's first writing system, cuneiform, and established the first city-states, such as Ur and Uruk. However, around 2334 BCE, a new people called the Akkadians, led by Sargon the Great, entered this region. They conquered the Sumerians and formed the world's first unified empire, the Akkadian Empire. This event, the formation of the Akkadian Empire, marked the beginning of significant regional transformations in Mesopotamia. The newcomers, primarily Semitic tribes distinct from the Sumerians, gradually settled in various parts of Mesopotamia, including northern Mesopotamia, where the ancient remains of the city of Ashur now lie. To identify the people of Ashur, archaeological and historical evidence points to the Hurrians, an ancient ethnic group in northern Mesopotamia, Anatolia, and Syria, with their own distinct language and culture. The name Baltil, used by Ashur's kings for the city's ancient part, likely originates from a Hurrian god, reflecting their cultural influence. Some suggest the Hurrians inhabited Ashur before being displaced or assimilated by the Semitic Akkadian population. The people of Ashur spoke a dialect of ancient Akkadian, similar to the Babylonian language, with both sharing a common language but distinct dialects. In the 8th and 7th centuries BCE, Aramaic, introduced through Assyrian conquests, gradually replaced Akkadian in some regions and formal settings. Aramaic replaced Akkadian and cuneiform, becoming the dominant language in Ashur and Babylon. The Achaemenid Empire adopted it for decrees and administration, and it spread across Mesopotamia, later becoming the primary language of Christian populations in the region after the birth of Christ. The Assyrian Empire peaked militarily from the 9th to 6th centuries BCE, controlling regions like Media and Babylon through its powerful army and demanding tribute. However, its brutal policies sparked resentment, leading Media and Babylon to ally against it. Their coordinated attacks weakened Assyria, culminating in its defeat in 609 BCE. The Assyrian Empire ended with the capture of its capital, Nineveh. Afterward, its territory was divided between the Medes and Babylonians. This division lasted only a few decades until Cyrus the Great established the Achaemenid Empire, uniting both Media and Babylon under his rule. Under the Achaemenids, Assyria became a province known as Athura. Following Alexander the Great's defeat of the Achaemenids, their territories were divided among his generals after his death. After the Parthians defeated the Greeks and established the new Persian Empire, Mesopotamia, including Assyria and Babylonia, came under the control of the Parthian and Sasanian Persian empires. The name of this region was Ashuristan, which is written in Parthian and Sasanian scripts on the tomb of Sasanian Shapur. Assyrian was recognized as a significant region during the Sasanian era. In a surviving book from this period, written in Middle Persian entitled The Assyrian Tree, a contrast is drawn between a goat symbolizing Iran and a palm tree symbolizing Mesopotamia. This type of literature sought to assert the superiority or value of one over the other. Thank you for staying with us until the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below.